Big Questions with the Dead Milkmen.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's show. My question this week is all about age. Are you as young as you feel? Do you feel older or younger than your age? And have you thought about this throughout your life at different times and had different opinions about how you feel about your age? I'm not sure why I asked this question. Maybe because, I don't know. I'm 59. I will be 60 next May. I feel younger than I am in years. I feel like I'm at least 10 years younger. And I don't know what that feeling is, but I just feel like I am younger. I certainly look in the mirror and I see lots of wrinkles and gray hair. But at the same time, I don't feel like I'm 60. I'm trying to remember what I thought about what age an old person was when I was younger, and I'm not sure what that was. It might have been like, oh, if you're over 40, you must be old. I don't know. Anyway, maybe because recently Charlie Watts passed away and the Rolling Stones are going on tour, and it was like, these guys are like in their upper 70s and 80s and they're going on tour and they're playing rock and roll music. I don't know. Are the Dead Milkmen still going to be doing this when we're 80 years old? I
think their odometers rolled over and they're the 80 that comes after 80, if you know what I mean.
So I don't know. I'm just curious to know what everybody feels about growing older. I definitely feel like I'm slowing down a little bit, but I still have an interest in new things, and I'm not interested in old things. Try and keep that spark alive, and try and keep interesting things coming your way. You just don't want to be an old grumpy fart. But anyway, that's my answer. I don't know. I was kind of like scratching my head about what I thought about this question.
Yeah, this might be our first open forum one because I'm confused. I don't know, how am I supposed to feel? I'm 58. How is 58 supposed to feel? There's no thing for this. I feel exactly like I've always felt. I feel like an adult, which I think is good. I've always wanted to be an adult. When I was a kid, that's all I wanted to be, was an adult. If they could have given me like a briefcase to take to kindergarten with me and a tie and some cufflinks, I would have been good. That's all I've ever wanted to be. I feel like I'm an adult. I feel like I'm an adult. I'm good with that. I think maybe it just helps to be bemused. Somebody said that about Dick Clark. They said Dick Clark, people always say, oh, he never ages. He's America's oldest teenager. And so I said, no, look at him when he was young. He looked bemused. Now he's old. He looks bemused. Bemused looks old on the young and young on the old. People start practicing looking bemused. So oftentimes you'll see me on the show, I'm like looking bemused. First of all, I'm proud of all the gray in my beard. I'm super happy with it. I've enjoyed getting older, probably more than anybody else ever has. I have no problem with it. I have plenty of energy. I always see people who are going like, well, I don't have the energy I used to have. I'm like, you never had any energy to begin with. These were the people we were like pushing over and stuff, like to get through, like past them in line for a restaurant, like boom. And then we would go in and give our name as the Manson family. But it's another Charles Manson reference. I have not a lot to really think about this other than if you are getting older, don't get cosmetic surgery. Just want to put that out there, okay? A lot of people start getting older. Now, I know with COVID, the hospitals don't have time for your cosmetic surgery bullshit. If you show up there looking for cosmetic surgery, they're going to send you home because they have to deal with people coughing up a lung. But when COVID finally dies down, don't go get cosmetic surgery because it never looks good. And guys, we're going to make a blood pact, okay, at the next rehearsal. We are not going to be nice to people who get cosmetic surgery. Because everybody who gets cosmetic surgery, you have to lie to them. They're like, oh, you probably can't tell I had any work done. And everyone's like, oh no, it looks so, yeah, it looks, remember my mom got like an eye thing done. And she's like, you may not have noticed. It's just a little bit of work. And I'm like, yeah, apparently the raccoon that I frightened in the garbage can today got the same bit of work because he looked just like, no. And just literally, and maybe because my mom never wanted to get old and I don't know, she was opposed to it. But as for me, I have no problem, but I don't know how I'm supposed to be. I never wanted to be. I know millennials, and I'm just spitballing this out here, so jump in and stop me if I'm not making sense. Millennials never seemed, they didn't want to be adults. Like look at the millennials, like they made like Michael Cera a movie star, like the whole man-child thing is just really disturbing to me. And it gets like, it's really creepy because a lot of these alt-rock sort of man-child bands are like now in their 40s, and it's really creepy. It's like, I'm a little boy playing with little toys. I'm like, oh, that's not.
The thing that always weirded me out was like, I remember you would see like yearbooks from kids from the 50s, and they were always in suit and ties, and they looked like they were Amway salesmen. It's like
my parents' yearbook is full of the oldest goddamn teenagers you could ever see. Maybe my parents aged in reverse, like Merlin. I don't know. But yeah, they are really sad looking. And again, well, there used to be, up until the Victorian era, there was no state of childhood. Children were just little people, and when you were 6 years old, you got to work in the mine, which oddly enough was still a thing in my family well into the 1970s. But yeah, I'm just saying that I never wanted to remain a little kid. All I ever wanted to do was grow a beard and not get carded when I bought alcohol. And I'm there now, and I don't feel. I don't know. Like if you said, what age are you? If you just stop me, I don't know. I say, well, I'm 58, but I think I'm what 58 should be. I'm pretty energetic, I'd imagine. I don't have any good answers for today's. Normally I have a whole sheet of stuff and I cleverly go down and say things, but no, not for today. So we'll move on, and hopefully, I think Joe is next, and hopefully he'll be a lot more clever than I was.
Well, I had the same exact thought that I've never been a different age than the age I always was. And now I'm 58 going on 59, soon to be 59. But I decided to compare myself to my childhood friend who will soon be 60. And health-wise, he seems to be doing a lot better than me, but then he might be the anomaly. I don't know. I might be, because he rides to work every day, 8 miles in each direction on his bike. And not a motorcycle.
Oh, on a car or something.
Right. And he looks in tip-top shape, and he became a vegetarian about 5 years ago. I think he's like has the health of a 40-year-old, but he's almost 60. I think I probably have the health of a 59 or maybe even a 60-year-old. I'm just making a guess. But emotionally, I decided to go take an age test today at agetest.com. And I answered all the questions I answered them honestly. I don't know how scientific it is, probably not. But it says my real age is 32 and calls me a big kid.
So not bad age.
We should all take that test and see what they come up with.
I was like 32 when I got married. It's a good age. Yeah.
I'll put the link in. We'll put the link in, and maybe everyone can try it out.
You have to get married now because you're 32, which is the age I was when I got married, and your birthday is my anniversary. Yeah. Oh, we're marrying Joe off. Get the shotgun, Bubba.
Dan.
So I mean, I'm in good company because I'm a little younger than you guys, so I can always just feel younger.
Yeah, you can like me. Yeah, me, I'm young. I don't care.
I can't hear
guys
Dan.
Can just fuck off.
Huh?
I can't hear Dan.
Oh, hello.
I can hear you, Dan.
Oh, okay.
You're quiet though.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I barely, yeah.
All right, can you hear me now?
It's our age.
As you get older, yeah, you're quiet.
Yeah,
What'd you say, Sonny? That's true. He's the youngest one. Speak up. Yeah, what?
Yeah, I was surprised like 2 years ago when I was like, oh, I need reading glasses now, because I don't know. I don't think I've ever really paid attention to my age. It doesn't like bum me out when I'm like, oh my God, I'm 40, because like I'm not even sure I expected to live to 40 when I was a teenager. Just by the way that like things were going in my life and how I was making decisions and doing things, I was like, I don't know. So I spent my 20s not really working hard and like touring with the low budgets and like taking jobs here and there. And it's funny now that I'm like getting older is when I'm doing like the harder work. Like I'm doing more like manual labor these past few years. So it is getting to a point where I'm kind of like, oh, I need something to help see now. And oh, I get sore a lot sooner, working all day, like hammering or painting all day and going up and down a 30-foot ladder all day painting. It's kind of wearing on me at times. So I'm like, oh, I guess I am getting older. But I'm thinking it's really cool that in 8 years, my youngest son will be 18 and I will be 50 years old. And I'm like, I have no children anymore. And like life is just kind of starting at 50. I think you guys were my age when we originally started playing in 2004 for Dave's show.
That'd be about right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
50 is a good age. I don't understand people freaking out, because it's better than the alternative, for one. Secondly, I just figured I would live forever. That's been my plan all along.
Honestly,
But
I really do look up to you guys, not only as musicians, but like as, aging musicians, and saying, wow, I could do that at 62 if these guys are. So.
Are there any non-aging musicians? That's all I wonder. Like everyone says, oh, I respect you as like an elder statesman on the scene. Like, it's not helping. You're not, Now get off my lawn.
So yeah, there's my answer.
Okay, thanks for those answers. All right, let's move on to recommendation.
Yay.
My recommendation this week is for a YouTube video. It is entitled "How to Cut Every Cheese." If you're this is a warning. If you're a cheese lover, you will be extremely hungry after watching this video. It's a 45-minute video, which might be intimidating, but it's a lovely presentation by this woman who runs a cheese shop or a cheese business. She talks about 30 different cheeses, what they are, and she discusses how you should serve them and, slice them. And then she offers, what you should pair with them in terms of flavors and so forth. It is absolutely the most entertaining and delicious video you have seen about cheese ever. So we'll provide a link to it in the comment down below.
Does she tell you how to tell the difference between bad feet or good cheese? Like, that's either bad feet or good cheese.
That's right.
I'm not going to do your ears and your eyes this week. I'm going to do your head and your feet. Okay, first for your head, get some fucking therapy. I have to explain this. Normally I don't talk about my feelings on the show because I don't think people should have feelings, let alone talk about them. But I just went through a rather long and protracted serious battle with depression and anxiety. And my dear wife, who bought me this neat thing here that glows, talked me into getting some therapy. And I did. And I am 1,000 times better. It's almost like I feel I can see in 360 directions, which is good for you people, because we got an album coming up and I've been putting a lot of work in it since I got better. But please, there's nothing to be ashamed of. You really should go. If you get a therapist that you don't like, just get rid of that person, get another one, keep going till you get somebody you can talk to. I fortunately, just talking to somebody helped me. And I don't have to be on any medication, although I asked. I was like, you got anything laying around? So I don't have to be what Stefan on Saturday Night Live used to call Prozac Doobie Brothers. Yes. They have screaming babies in Mozart wigs. Prozac Doobie Brothers is when someone in a depression commercial gets better, so you see them at a smooth jazz concert. So I'm much better, people, and feeling great. Now here's the caveat: is that I have a corporate job and I have health insurance. Not everybody does, so I'm going to give you a number. This is for the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. This is a government organization that is apparently funded by a tax on the show Love After Lockup, because it's done terrible mental damage to all of us. The number is 1-800-662-HELP. That's 1-800-662-4357. They will help you out if you have issues. One other thing, please don't ask me for help. I'm not being a dick. It's just I'm not a professional. As people say to me, oh, well, my friend's going through something, really bad. Can he talk to you? And I'm like, no, because all I'm going to tell them is go to a professional. Speak to a professional. If you say, well, my friend got hit by a train, can you help him? And I'm like, I can't really do a lot. And you go, well, you wrote that Kim Leach song. I'm like, yeah, it's about a train, but it's not the same thing. I've gone through some stuff, but I'm not a professional. Please speak to a professional. Thank you. And now the other thing for your legs, I'm going to recommend one of these. This is an under the table. Trip it out, by the way. Pimp the sucker out with stickers. This is an under the table bicycle, under the desk stationary bicycle. And I got this because I went to speaking of doctors, I got a physical, and my doctor was like, my God, you're fat. You have gotten really fat. And I was like, I gained a little bit of weight. He goes, no, I'm gonna have to charge you for 2 appointments, you fatty. And I'm like, come on. He's like, hey, nurse, can you help me push this walrus back out into the ocean? Get Greenpeace on. So I'm like, look, I have a job where I'm at my desk all day long. I'm literally sometimes at my desk for 12, 16 hours, and I don't really get to go out and walk around. And my doctor, without blinking, goes, why don't you get an under the desk bicycle, one of those states? I'm like, I guess, yeah, who's the smart guy now? I'm like, oh, okay. So I got this, and I really love this thing. I will be working on stuff, even when I was mixing some very long atmospheric things down last weekend, and I wound up just sitting there pedaling away. And I looked down, I'd ridden for like 3 miles. So really, these things are amazing. This one was only like $40. Get it. You don't have to get an expensive one. Get like a $40 one, but make sure if you've got some like goth industrial stickers around the house, put them on there. Also, you can kind of work out with it. But I really do recommend, if you're like me and you're stuck at your desk, while your bandmates are off romping and playing, just, get one of these and you'll be happy. All right, that's it. I'm just telling you to see doctors this week. Right, bye.
I recommend that you carry your COVID vaccination record with you in your wallet or your purse, wherever you go, because you may want to go to a club or a venue or a restaurant, and they might ask for it and then deny you entry if you don't have it, or some kind of other proof that you've been vaccinated. So that's my little recommendation.
Oh, you're one of the sheep that got vaccinated. I'm not a sheep. I've been taking horse dewormer.
I hope you weren't denied entry to your concert yesterday.
Oh, I went to, that's why I'm recommending it. I forgot. I didn't even think about it, but I wasn't denied entry, but I went to see a show. Oh. But I had to find my appointment message in my text messages to prove that I actually that I had an appointment for my second shot from Rite Aid. But I almost was denied entry. I was surprised.
Ted Nugent don't take one of them to get into his. You can go see Ted Nugent if you got a big open wound on your head. You got pus pouring out. Ted Nugent, glad to have you in the audience. He wangos, he tangos. He is just a good American. The doctor didn't totally fix me, obviously.
Started, right?
It didn't change my wardrobe any. I know that. Sorry, Dan.
I would like to recommend my middle son's YouTube channel, Just Some Animations, because he's doing animations. There's only a few up there, but if you subscribe when he posts them, you'll get a notification. And they're actually really good. He's 13 and he's been doing this for a little while, and should check him out. We'll have a link provided.
How old does he feel he is?
What? I agree with Rodney. I think if anybody out there, if you feel like you could use some help, you should get some. Even if you feel like you couldn't use some help, you should get some.
And if Matt Gates tells you that the age is just a number, the magic number is 911. You want to just dial that one in, kids.
But I think even people who thought they had their shit together have been faced with a lot this past year. So it probably would benefit most people. I've been in therapy for years, but it's really this therapist I've been seeing for the last 6 months that has been really good, really helpful. And like Rodney said, if you're with one and you're like, this therapist sucks, you can get a new one.
What if we could have done like Metallica and gotten a group rate?
So yeah.
Yes, Richard H. Kirk.